Hey everyone, welcome back to Basic Level Gaming. Today we are going to continue on with our Learning to Play Chess series. And we've done quite a few videos on this series so far. I think this is our 11th. So we're going to jump in. We're going to play a game again today and analyze it. And I'll talk a little bit about why we're doing that at the beginning and what we're working towards in the future. But let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. And we'll see you at the end. Alright, so we are going to play another game or two here today and do some analyzation. I just think that is one of the best things we can do right now at the point where we're at in the discussion. I'm still working on where we're going to go from here because I don't want to take it to so high of concepts, and some of the concepts are a little more abstract to try to work with, so I'm just still working on that. But right now I really think this is the best use of our time here as far as building up some of those skills and talking about how a particular situation can benefit from some play and not others. So but we're going to go ahead and jump in here and try and see if we can get an opponent, which I imagine we will. Haven't had any trouble doing that so far. There we go, right away. So we're going to be black today. Let's see. I think we'll just kind of respond naturally here. Let's go here. I don't really want to move that one there. I thought about that last time. Let's see. We're going to get a little aggressive here. See if he'll play ball. Let's see what we want to do. I always think after I make a move, I'm like, man, was that the right move to make? Yeah, I kind of expected that. Well, we definitely slowed him down. That doesn't work. I didn't even think about that. Dang it. Go back home. Let's give up that pawn. Man. I'm in a bad spot here. I don't like it. That's going to give up my rook if I do that. That won't, though. So now I gotta figure out how to... He gave that to me. I don't think he saw that. It's interesting that he keeps disconnecting. Let's just have a bad internet connection or something. He gave up. Okay. Definitely had some bad moves in there. I feel like we did pretty good trying to bring it back together. So let's take a look at how it feels we did. Almost done. There we go. So obviously he made the typical move and I responded with a typical book move. Next one was a book move, same here. So we just kind of started out very standard. Now this one was where he deviated a little bit. It said it was a great move, but it would have been better to move the outside pawn. It did not like this move. It's saying I should have moved the pawn up, which I do later, but luckily he did not capitalize on that mistake, apparently. He responded with a mistake. Oh, I see why that was a mistake. I didn't even realize that that left that pawn unguarded. So he should have responded by taking my center pawn, but he didn't, thankfully. He brought his bishop out to try to attack me, which I thought was an inaccuracy. Said mine was excellent. Best would have been to attack with that outside pawn. And I thought about that move, but there was something in a lesson that I took that talked about that being a mistake a lot of times. And so I didn't want to make that move, and I should have. I thought about it. It just didn't happen. So he responded by making the move he should have done earlier, and still should have taken my pawn. Okay, it's saying I should have just went ahead and traded the knight. It said mine was a good move, but it would have been better to just take the knight and let him have my rook, or my bishop. He moved the queen up, which it said was a decent move. Attacking my bishop would have been better, which is what he does do in just a minute. Now it's saying I should not have done that. I should have moved it up here and protected that pawn, which I hadn't even realized that that pawn was unprotected. So I definitely don't disagree with that. So he takes my pawn, which it says he should not have done. He should have attacked my bishop again, which he does do in a minute, but said that was a good move, or excellent move even. But it would have been better still to move this pawn up that we talked about a minute ago. So this was now not a good move. He should have moved his bishop up here to kind of protect his king and try to draw in my knight, I guess. And I should have just let him have the knight or the bishop and attacked his knight instead. He should not have castled. He should have taken my knight, which now is very protected. So I wonder why he was supposed to take it. So it said I should have took it with the knight instead of the bishop. My thought process of taking it with the bishop is when he takes the bishop back, I can attack the queen. And I was thinking for some reason in my head that I was forking this rook too. And I don't know why, because I clearly wasn't. I was forking the bishop though, but still. So he does the best thing he could do, which is to take my bishop. Now it says I should not have done that. What should I have done? Okay, I just moved my pawn up. Interesting. He definitely did the best thing he could do there. So I take his bishop, which was the best I could do from that point. He takes the pawn. So we're playing pretty good right here. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. It's saying I should have just moved my king over. My thought process was this way I could take the queen because I was willing to trade if I needed to. So he takes my knight, which I hated to give him, but... I was going to do that, but I was thinking I needed to attack the queen here first. Because this was definitely my thought process, because I was going to take his pawn and then move my queen up here to put him in check, but I wanted to get the queen off that diagonal first. So when she gets off the diagonal, not in the way I want him to. I went the wrong way. Oh, because it still would have been protected there. But my thought process was if I did that, then this pawn was unprotected. Whereas by doing this, the pawn's protected, the rook's protected, the other pawn's protected, and the knight's protected. So I wonder why moving here was better. And so much better, because this calls it a mistake. I don't really understand that one. Because I feel like this would have been giving away material. So I should have castled here. It says this was a blunder. Why was it so severe? Oh, because it unprotected that back rank. Now I get it. Now this was definitely a blunder for him, because I mean, he just gave me his queen. He did not see that, I don't think. Kind of just goes pretty close to standard here for a bit. Saying he should have, oh, because he could have been attacking here, and if I would have taken him with the queen, he would have taken my queen. So I can see that. And it's saying I should just move the bishop over instead of the queen to the same spot, but oh, I could see that, because then I could take the rook and I wouldn't be out anything. And that was the reason I went the way I did, is so I could take the bishop. Saying I should have went ahead and went over one more. And I can see that, because when I did this, I didn't put it in my brain that this knight was protecting that rook. I was thinking that I could just take this rook. But yeah. So he should have went over one more, because he could have put me in check. That makes sense. And it's saying I should have castled again. Oh, no, it actually says that was the best move. It says I could have also castled. So it says his was good, but it would have been better to move that rook to the back rank. What was I going to accomplish there? This is an alternative. I mean, it says mine was best, but I'm trying to think of what I would have accomplished by moving my queen back here. I mean, I would have been able to attack over here, I guess. Oh, that would have been checkmate. Because he would have had nowhere to go. Wow, I didn't see it. That's part of why this is so good, is because even after you know the best move, you have to figure out why it was the best move. So, and it's important that you do that when you're analyzing the games. Because I totally didn't see. If I would have moved the queen back here to f6, then I could have moved it all the way back to a1, and he would have been in checkmate, because he couldn't go here, here, or here, and there's no way for him to interfere. So it would have been over. So definitely would have been a better move. Saying he should have went ahead and took my rook. So it would have been better to go ahead and step back and put him in check. Make him react. Why would that? I guess because it puts him under cover. See, in his thought process was he was going to try and get one of these pawns through. But I was ready to just move past one instead of taking it, so that it blocked up two of the pawns. So I was watching for it. He never got there, but so I move back here and grab a pawn. Also, it allows me to attack this square here if I need to on b6. So I was really just trying to force some aggressiveness here the way I needed to. I should have moved the queen up here because then he would have had to have flee from me, and I could have taken the bishop or the rook. So I just didn't see it at that point. I think I did see it after I made the move, but it was too late. And he's really stuck on these pawns. I mean, he could have had a straight line to my king several times, and he hasn't. So it says that was good. Oh, because if I moved here, then I could have moved the queen up there. Okay. Same thing I was in before. And this was so weird. Like, I don't know at all what that thought process was. And neither does the game, apparently. Now I got the rook and he's in check. So that's going to give me the knight here in a minute. Well, it would have. I had to be a little more creative. Why over there? I guess just because it gets me away. So he can't like make me choose between keeping one or the other. Oh, because I was thinking I couldn't do that because he'd take my knight, but he couldn't have taken my knight because my queen was protecting it, even though he was in the middle. So, all in all, though, it was a good game. I think it turned out a lot better than it could have with some of the early on mistakes that I made. And I really was kind of opening a little blind because I just repeated what he was doing for a little bit there. And I do that because a lot of times if you do that, you're protecting the pieces that he's trying to attack. But in this case, it did start to get me into a little bit of a bind because I made a couple of mistakes. So luckily he made a couple as well. Him giving me the queen was really the game changer when he moved the queen so my pawn could take it. Because once I had that, then I definitely had an upper advantage. So we're actually going to go ahead and just stop there today. That'll put us a little over 30 minutes. So we'll stop here. And hopefully you enjoy the videos here with the analyzing. I think it's a huge exercise to do, and I just kind of want to do it a few times so that you feel comfortable doing it yourself when you go to play on your own. And the chess.com tool is just really awesome on that, as far as you can go step by step, see what the best move is. And there's some other things you can do, like you can carry on as if you had made that move and see kind of how the game went. I haven't played a whole lot with that because I like to have to manually figure that out in my head. But it's definitely there. Anyway, please leave any feedback or comments down below. I'd love to hear from anybody. Any ideas, any concepts you're curious about, just anything. Other than that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Turn on those notifications, and we do upload to this series every week on Tuesday. And we'll see you then. See you later. Thank you, and have a great day.